I get to stand by, understudy this man every night. I've been doing this for more than a year, and when I tell you that there are there are no words to qualify or to quantify the influence that Tony Award winner, Grammy Award winner, Emmy Award winner Andre DeShields has on a mere mortal. Once a body has experienced the intoxicating effects and effects, once he has spun his web of wisdom, every morsel of goodness that comes from his mouth has to be written down and remembered as if history will be defined by that moment. He says, and I have taken it to heart every day since he has said these words, the universe is conspiring with you. The universe is conspiring with you. The universe is conspiring with you. Ain't nothing like this man, except possibly the gentleman who is going to introduce him. I mean, these two legends, these two Broadway names, these two men who made The Wiz, you can't get any better. So I'm so happy to introduce the one and only, the legendary, will read you on the spot, Mr. George Faison.
Hello, my name is George Faison, and I have known this next honoree for probably 45 years. We have worked these boards here in New York, danced on all of these stages, and done a lot of things. But the thing that we cherish most, or we had to have an abundance of, is courage. To be able to stand in the face of no and persevere. Change our plans, change direction, but keep our eye on the prize. And after all of this time, we've completed a lot of our bucket list. But here tonight, this brother joins other brothers, and he becomes a native son tonight. He joins the ranks of County Cullen, James Baldwin, Langston Hughes, all of them who were trying to make a statement in spite of the stigmas of being gay, of being weird, and all of those things. But here's a man who had the courage to face many things and conquer them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. André DeShields.
Thank you. I'm so full this evening. T. Oliver Reed, there are no words for how you have made me feel tonight. My heart is warm. I'm full. George Faison, we have been through a lot together, and I look forward to continuing to blaze these trails with you. Now, I am here tonight because T. Oliver Reed must have said something to Emil Welbekin, because Emil reached out to me and said that he wanted this organization to bestow this honor upon me, to become a member of the community, native son. And if the truth be told, I was haunted for the few weeks That was the interim between Emil's first contacting me and my getting to this place tonight. Now, why have I been haunted? Native Son represents 3 chapters in my life. The first, the novel by Richard Wright. My formative years were spent in Baltimore, Maryland. I am today what I am because of having gone to that University of Hard Knocks. I grew up as a race man. Your parents tell you whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you say, you are representing the race. My second encounter with Native Son was James Baldwin, the prophet of the 20th century. My third encounter with Native Son was when I read what is arguably the Bible of Black militant America, written by Eldridge Cleaver. It's called Soul on Ice. If you have not ever read Soul on Ice, you must. These 3 encounters made it plain to me that America was assaulting the Black man. Everywhere we would go, there was a monster inside of us because of the way we had been abused, accused, undone by the systemic racism and the systemic homophobia in these united plantations of America. We know how the monster showed himself in Richard Wright's Native Son. Bigger Thomas doesn't really have any revelation about how to deal with his monster until he's looking in the face of death. James Baldwin deals with the monster that consumes him in his relationship with his pastor father. And ultimately, after the father dies, James forgives himself and his father for having to deal with that monster. Eldridge Cleaver, who wrote the gospel for Black militant America, in part 2 of Soul on Ice, is collecting his own notes on notes of a Native Son. And he's wrestling with that monster, that gorilla of Black militancy, born to be defeated. I grew up with a monster in me also. Fortunately, I was able to use my artistic expression to exorcise that monster. And even still, last year when after 3 Tony nominations, I finally received the Tony, and some of my colleagues would say to me, you've arrived. And I thought, in spite of all the accolades, what is most precious to me now, when I am hungry, to know that there is a community that will nourish me. native son. That when I am lonely, there's a community that will be my companion, native son. When I'm out of sorts with myself, there is a community that will embrace me with empathy and compassion, native son. And when I need to be checked because of that human dis-ease called hubris, there is a community who will say, hold on, brother man. We know you. Thank you for inviting me into this community. I am proud to be a black man. I am proud to be a queer man. I am proud to be embraced by all of you. And I'd like to make this covenant with you. As I continue on my path as a performing activist, I want to be sure that I am representing you in the best way, in the most loving way, in the most healthy way, in the most progressive way, so that once we get beyond this intersection of history and evolution, all the native sons can join with the rest of humanity in creating this new earth, which all of us so greatly need. Thank you very much. I am loved. I am happy. Ubuntu, that's a word we borrow from the network of Bantu languages spoken in Southeast Africa, and it means I am because you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. DeShields. I have to say that it has been an honor and a blessing to get to know you through this process. And your words are native son. So we thank you, we salute you, we bow down to you. You are such an amazing example for us of how to live our lives with inspiration, with empowerment, with authenticity, and with grace and Black gay excellence. I thank you so much.